Women are now chasing men, and they can't handle rejection.
No fucking wonder there's a male loneliness epidemic. You fuckers don't know how to date. This guy asked me, he was like, do you want to hang out on Thursday? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So Thursday rolls around. I'm waiting all day for him to text me when we're hanging out, what we're doing, where we're going. And he never does. The day passes. It's Friday now. Friday afternoon, actually. And he texts me. He's like, so when can I see you? You could have saw me last night. But I didn't say that. Instead, I said, oh, I'm off of work at 5:30 tomorrow. Let's do something then. And he's like, all right, bet. Sounds good. So tomorrow comes around. Tomorrow is today. I get off of work at 5:30 and I check my phone. No texts. Right, we're supposed to be hanging out, but I have got no confirmation. Don't know where we're going. Don't know what we're doing. Don't know what time. So I text him. I'm like, hey, what are we doing? And he goes, I'm bad at choosing. I don't know. You pick. Bro, do not piss me off like that. Do not piss me off. Luckily, I am full of ideas. So I spew a couple. I'm like, do you want to make slime like it's 2016? Or do you want to go to this haunted house? Please, I really want to go to this haunted house really bad. I love Halloween. And he's like, oh, that haunted house looks fun. And I'm like, right? I love haunted houses. But he says, but usually haunted houses aren't that scary. Okay. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Are we going or not? So I was like, okay, well, if you want to do something different, like, pick a plan. Make a fucking plan, baby girl. So then he asked me, do you have Netflix? Yeah, I do have Netflix. Why? What's your grand idea? And he goes, how about we watch the scariest movie on Netflix? By the way, I can't drive tonight. Oh, so you want me to drive 40 minutes across the city to your house with my car, my gas money, to Netflix and chill on the first date? First, with my Netflix account, mind you. I think the fuck not. No. And I was rooting for this one. I was really rooting for this guy. He was so cute. He seemed so nice. He thought I was funny. But oh my fucking god, bro. Where's your fucking spine? All right, 3 strikes, you're out.
She's losing her mind over a guy not planning a date. But that's what happens when men stop playing the clown. The dude probably sensed it. Another pick-me-up, entertain-me, spend-on-me situation dressed as effort. Guys don't plan anymore because every plan turns into a free trial for attention. You take her out, pay, and still end up ghosted by someone who wasn't feeling the vibe. Now the script flipped. Women expect men to lead, pay, and decide, but they don't bring anything except expectations. The guy didn't fumble. He avoided being another storyline on her feed. She calls him spineless because he wouldn't bend over backward to prove himself. That's not weak, that's awareness. The dating game's broken because too many women treat it like customer service. She wants a perfect plan, but gives zero energy in return. He didn't fail to plan. He just didn't volunteer for another he tried too hard story. In this era, silence is how men win.
I got rejected by a faceless man. A friend of mine wanted to set me up with a friend of hers. So she reached out to me and told me all about him, and he seemed to check all of the boxes, right? Then she reached out to him and said, hey, I have this friend. I think that you guys would hit it off. And he asked for a picture. And so she sent my picture to him. Mind you, I asked for a picture of him and I never got one, but that's besides the point. She sends him my picture and this guy writes back, I don't date my friends' friends. Initially, yeah, I got disappointed. My ego got hurt, especially because I don't even know what this dude even looks like. But then I just remembered, you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. And thank God for that. As they say, God's rejection is God's protection. So who knows, this troll of a man may have been the biggest waste of time for me, and God prevented it. So instead of stewing in my disappointment and my insecurities and knocking myself down in every single way, I got up and I cleaned my apartment. I went and I bought myself some really good food from one of my favorite restaurants. I came back, I did an everything shower, all of the things, put on my favorite movie, and that was it. And I felt really good about myself and just reminded myself that eventually I'm going to cross paths with the man of my dreams, and he is going to be everything, and there's not going to be any of these games, and he's going to know exactly what he wants. And I'm at the point where I am just not about the apps, so I honestly think that I actually might hire a matchmaker. I don't know. Has anybody tried a matchmaker? How has it worked for you? Let me know your thoughts. We're going to test this out and see what's up, because somewhere out there is the right guy for me, and I'm at the point where I am ready to meet him. So, wish me luck.
This is what happens when rejection hits for the first time. It's a full spiritual awakening over a man she never even met. One guy says no, and suddenly it's God's protection, and he wasn't my destiny. It's never just he wasn't into me. It has to be divine intervention. The irony is wild. She's talking about rejection like it's rare, while men deal with it weekly and keep moving without a TED Talk about healing. That's how low the bar for resilience has dropped. Rejection isn't oppression, it's part of the game. The difference is men learned that a long time ago. Women are just catching up.
I feel like my talking stage is about to come to an end. And not in a good way. Not in a like, we're no longer talking, we're dating kind of way. More of in a we are never going to speak to each other again kind of way. It's that guy that I went on the 6-hour first date with, the one that I was so excited about. And so we've been talking for like 7 weeks now. And on our first date, we both established that we are not looking to be casual. We are looking for a person. So that conversation hasn't come up since. And I feel like by like the 2-month mark, you kind of know if you're ready to invest in someone or not. And things are going really well for the first couple of weeks. But ever since Thanksgiving, I feel like I've been the one initiating a lot of the contact. And I don't mind like letting someone know that I want to talk to them and that I want to see them. But when that starts to become imbalanced, when I start to feel like I'm the only one showing any interest, then it's not so good. Because now I'm sitting here with anxiety. So this past weekend, he was kind enough to drive me 3 hours away to pick up my new car that I'm very excited about. And we stayed in the city where the car was with a friend of his because he used to live there. And I told him Saturday night and Sunday morning before we left the city that I wanted to see him again this week before he leaves for the holiday. And we got back into town and I sent him a message Sunday night about something and he responded Monday morning and I sent a question back and he has not texted me since. And today's Thursday. And in my head, I'm going, okay, I told you twice. I made it very clear that I wanted to see you again. And you said, we will make it happen. And it's not happening. And I understand being busy. Like, this is his busy season at work. I get that. But I also feel like you prioritize the things that you care about. So even if I had gotten a text earlier this week that was like, look, I am exhausted this week. Can we postpone? Or like, hey, I'm thinking about you. Or literally anything, I think I might still be invested. But at this point, it is way too early for me to feel like I'm having to fight for somebody's attention or like I'm giving all of this energy and I'm not getting a whole lot back, which is a bummer because I like this guy. I like hanging out with him. I feel like we had potential, but I'm a quality time person and a physical touch person. And if we're not in person, that I'm not fulfilling those needs. And so at that point, I need words of affirmation and I'm not even getting those. So I have a feeling this is about to end.
She's living the role reversal that modern dating created. The same women who used to ignore men's effort are now sitting in their rooms wondering why silence feels so loud. They don't realize men mastered indifference out of survival. He's not ghosting to play games. He's ghosting because peace feels better than explaining himself to someone who treats interest like a scoreboard. The moment he stopped chasing, she lost control, and that's what she's really panicking about. The fight for attention always gives it away. When someone says they're tired of trying, what they mean is they can't accept that the other person simply doesn't care enough to try back. It's not about timing or mixed signals. It's about reality. She's talking about effort and balance like this was a team project. But in his head, he clocked out weeks ago. He already knows she'll spiral into overthinking while he's sleeping fine. Her whole logic runs on the idea that constant communication equals connection. That's the modern love glitch. People think a steady stream of notifications means intimacy, but effort isn't measured in text bubbles, and consistency doesn't mean compatibility. You can talk all day and still feel like strangers when it's forced. Men figured that out the hard way, so they stopped pouring time into dead ends. That first date, we're both looking for our person talk, was the red flag she thought was chemistry. Nothing kills attraction faster than forcing purpose onto something that hasn't even had time to breathe. You don't manifest a relationship by announcing it. You let it form naturally. Every serious talk too early is just pressure disguised as maturity. She was trying to seal a deal before she even knew the product. Now she's wondering why he's quiet while she's typing novels into the void. She thinks he lost interest, but really he just lost patience. The imbalance she feels isn't miscommunication, it's clarity. She's learning that affection can't be begged for, and interest doesn't grow under pressure. Men don't pull back out of fear. They pull back because they see what happens when they don't.
I went on my first Hinge date in London yesterday. I think this is the first time I've been rejected, at least in this way. He was actually really cute, super tall, my type. I thought it was going well. He wasn't super funny, but it was fine. Then he wasn't asking if I wanted another drink. It was getting kind of awkward, so then I asked. I was like, oh, should we get another drink or do you have to leave? He looks down at his phone and he goes, yeah, actually, I'm gonna go meet my friends. I was in shock, wait, sorry, what? How am I meant to go on dates now? And I realized there's a possibility that they actually might not like me, which I've never even considered before. Awkward goodbye. I get home and he's texted me. If you're gonna fucking reject me, don't text me after. What? I also got shot on by a bird last week, so I was like, oh my god, is this my good luck that I finally meet a cute guy? No, then I get rejected.
She just ran into something modern women can't process. Men have options now, and they're not afraid to use them. The power dynamic flipped, and it's hitting hard. For years, men were expected to sit through dull conversations and fake interest just to avoid being rude. Now they don't even bother. They'll walk out mid-date without guilt, because peace feels better than pretending. She's not upset about rejection. She's stunned by indifference. That's what happens when the attention pipeline dries up. It exposes who actually brings value to the table. Men spent years leveling up, stacking money, building discipline, and realizing they don't need to chase anyone to feel complete. Now, the same women who laughed at average men are realizing those men evolved without them. What used to be her power, being chosen, doesn't mean much anymore. Men choose themselves now. They've stopped fighting for approval in a game designed for them to lose. And for the first time, women are sitting on the other side of the table wondering how it feels to not be the prize.
It honestly pains me to see women constantly explaining to men that they would rather be alone than to be in a relationship with them. They don't understand. They don't understand because the cognitive dissonance. They can't imagine because they can't do it. They can't be alone. Literally, they ruminate when they're alone. Their mind wanders all over the place. They hate their own company. A man cannot stand the thought of being alone. So he cannot believe you when you say you are happier alone. They can't do it, so they can't imagine that you can do it. They honestly believe that you're lying. Stop trying to convince them that you're happier alone. We know we are. Just be alone.
That's not strength. That's just you trying to act okay. Women are trying so hard to cope with the fact that men actually want to be alone nowadays. Even if they don't admit it, women aren't built to be alone, and everyone knows it. The same ones saying they love their peace can't go a week without posting about how men don't talk to them anymore. They need attention like oxygen, because solitude doesn't feel empowering when no one's watching. It feels empty. Men learn to live in silence. Women filled it with validation. That's why the roles aren't equal. When a man is alone, he rebuilds. When a woman is alone, she performs it online so it doesn't look like rejection. The difference is simple. Men accepted solitude as reality. Women turned it into content. And every time they say they don't need anyone, it just proves how much they do.